So we talked about Sifrei Chachma,
Right.
Machlokes Rishonim, and the Mishnah Berurah seems to lean towards the Mekel side, especially if you're reading it for the Chachma quality of it.
Right.
Most of our generation, the literature we tend to read, not necessarily.
Shabbos worthy?
Well, I wouldn't. I'm saying Chachma worthy.
Right. It's light.
It's light. It's light. So we're talking about this pleasure kind of reading.
Right.
Well, I said before pleasure reading, let's talk about a very simple case. What about things that have to do with business? Any kind of reading material that relates to business-oriented content will be usher to read on Shabbos, and therefore the object will be Kli Shemalachta L'Isser.
Wow. Like the Wall Street Journal?
Like if you have a magazine or a newspaper that is heavily business-oriented, or even a regular newspaper, but the advertisements in the newspaper. So to look at advertisements, circulars, which some women like to do, for example.
Yes.
So which is all advertising, so that really should be avoided. In fact, the poskim have a lot of discussion in Israel, especially they have these like Shabbos pages, the Divrei Torah, the Torah tidbits, and all these kind of things, which have a lot of advertisements. Really, the advertisements really should be avoided.
Wow.
Okay. By the way,
Yes.
we'll just throw this question out there. Can you go ahead and, what's the status of a telephone book?
Telephone book. Well, you can look up names. Oh, but you can't call.
Right.
But it has addresses.
It has addresses.
Yes.
So to open up a telephone book to check out where someone lives, you want to visit them, you need the address, is that mutter?
Yeah, I think yes, because I once came to your house to ask you that, and you said yes.
Really? It's a Kli Shemalachta L'Isser, its prime use is to get the numbers. But
Yeah.
people also will use it to get the address, L'tzorek Gufo,
Right.
mutter. Can you use it as a booster? To just boost a kid up who needs a little higher seat.
Well, that is a mutter function.
It's a mutter function, L'tzorek Gufo. It's a good example of a Kli Shemalachta L'Isser that is mutter L'tzorek Gufo. Okay. Novels, Sports Illustrated, and the like. I'm going to read you a halach in Shulchan Aruch.
Okay.
It is very, very intense.
It's not for the faint of heart.
Definitely not.
Okay.
If you want to see it at home, Shin Zayin, Sif Tet Zayin.
Okay.
It's going to come off strong, and maybe we'll pull back a little bit. Malitzos u'mishalim shel sichas chulin. Stories
People Magazine.
of sichas chulin. You want to translate that?
People Magazine.
V'divrei cheshek kegon Sefer Emmanuel.
I don't know what that is. Just People Magazine, I guess.
Well, books that appeal to the prurient interests of man.
I don't know what prurient is, but I know that People Magazine is prurient.
Books that have lustful content in them and things of that nature. Actually, I never knew what Sefer Emmanuel was until I actually saw an article written about Sefer Emmanuel, which was his medieval work that was not 100% kosher. V'chein Sifrei Milchamos, war stories, which might be read as certain history volumes, which write about wars. Aser likros bahem b'Shabbos. You now read on Shabbos, meaning he mentioned Malitzos Misham Shal Sichas Chulin. The Af Bechol Aser.
So why is this on Shabbos? Hilchos Shabbos.
Because he doesn't want to mislead you by saying it's only Aser on Shabbos.
Ah.
Mishum Moshav Leitzin. The over Mishum Al Tifnu El Ha'elilim Lo Tifnu Amidatchem Uvidivrei Cheshek and lustful materials Ikatu Mishum Megare Yetzahara.
Yeah. It gets you thinking.
It gets more intense.
Okay.
Umisha Chibram, those who author these volumes, Umisha Ha'etikan, who copy them, the Ein Sarach Lo Mahamad Pisan, the publishers, Machtiim Es Harabim. That's intense.
Yes, it is.
Okay, so what does that all mean? So obviously there's a message here, and it's a very important message for everyone, and that is Shabbos is supposed to be on a different plane. We're supposed to involve ourselves with real aspects of Kedusha on Shabbos. That is very, very clear, and that clearly comes very strongly off the page. Is this relevant halacha l'maaseh? So it's interesting, when you look at some of the popular Hilchos Shabbos, Hilchos Muktza Sfarim, they really kind of punt on this issue. They don't, novels, they say, like, ask your local rabbi.
Right.
So I'll tell you what I think, and I'll just share with you my opinion. It's important, and that goes to the beginning of Siman Shin Zayin.
Okay.
Are you allowed to talk sports on Shabbos?
Not during Shemona Esrei, I know that. I've learned that the hard way.
You allowed to talk politics on Shabbos?
Politics? No. Not during Shemona Esrei.
The Shulchan Aruch says, "V'daber davar shelo yeh diburcha shel Shabbos kediburcha shel Chol." Your speech on Shabbos is supposed to be different than your speech on Chol. Therefore, he says, you're not allowed to say, for example, tomorrow I'm going to plan on going on a great adventure. You can't speak like that on Shabbos. Planning for tomorrow, you can't talk about business on Shabbos. And he says, "Afilu besichas dvarim betelim." Speaking dvarim betelim, aser laharbos. You shouldn't excessively involve yourself in on Shabbos.
Right.
Again, same theme. Comes along the Ramah. This is the crucial Ramah. What about people, bnei adam shesipur shmuos v'divrei chidush?